Hi, my name is Matt Shamblin. As a registered nurse certified in emergency and trauma care by the Board of Certification for Emergency Nursing, I want to discuss something with you that it can be a major issue and can affect any one of us at any moment. Severe bleeding, the number one cause of preventable death after injuries. Today I want to share with you my knowledge so that you can help prevent these tragic outcomes. Serious bleeding includes events that are far more common than many people realize. They just don't happen in extreme conditions. They happen with everyday activities around the home, such as handling broken glass, using a sharp kitchen knife, or even just mowing the lawn that can become hazardous. It's not limited to the home either. Going to sporting events or concerts can also present risks. In more serious scenarios, firearms and motor vehicle crashes are substantial causes for critical bleeding that can rapidly lead to fatalities, if not promptly and effectively managed. Understanding how to recognize life-threatening bleeding is the first step in responding to an emergency bleeding scenario. Signs are not always obvious, but can include excessive blood flow, blood that won't clot, and bleeding in conjunction of symptoms of shock, which would be confusion, weakness, or a rapid pulse. Once you have identified severe bleeding, it is imperative to act quickly but safely. Here's how you can make a difference. First, ensure your own safety, because you can't help anyone if you become a victim yourself. This includes looking for unstable structures, any oncoming traffic, or anything else that might be dangerous. Proceed only to help when you're certain that the situation is safe. If circumstances change or it becomes risky, move yourself and, if possible, the patient to safety. Then you can address the bleeding. So let's discuss the ABCs of bleeding control. The ABCs provide a systematic method for addressing bleeding emergencies effectively. A is for alert. Call 911 as soon as you recognize a bleeding emergency. Be ready to provide specific details about your location and the nature of the injuries so that EMS can arrive quickly. B is for your bleeding assessment. Determine the source of the bleeding. Look for any continuous bleeding, any large signs of blood loss, or areas where blood is pooled underneath the body. More often than not, blood can come from more than one injury, so it's important to remove clothing because it can hide injuries. Once you've fully expressed this, you'd be able to fully assess the situation. C is for compression of the wound. Direct pressure is the best way to stop bleeding. Apply firm pressure directly to the wound with gauze or a clean cloth. If bleeding does not stop, it may be necessary to pack the wound. Now, use any clean or absorbent material in order to pack the wound tightly. However, it's important to realize that it may require more than what you think that it will to completely pack the wound. And also remember to avoid sharp objects or bone fragments that could be inside the wound. Think about that stuff. Once packed, apply continuous, firm pressure until the bleeding stops. If the bleeding is severe and does not stop with these measures, you need to apply a tourniquet 2 to 3 inches above the wound, avoiding joints like the knees or elbows. Tourniquets can be applied to only the arms and legs. Please do not apply a tourniquet around someone's neck. Tighten the tourniquet until the bleeding stops. Tourniquets can cause a significant amount of pain, but a life is more important than an extremity. If one tourniquet is not enough, a second may be added above the first. Now, let's talk about tourniquets. This is Velcro. Let's say I have a wound on my arm here. So I'm going to cinch this down, Velcro, until it's tight. Now this is going to hurt. This, our rod, is what's actually going to cause the compression. I'm only going to tighten it once. So we're going to tighten it, put it in our keeper, mark the time. Now I'm going to take this off because even though I didn't tighten it down all the way, it's already hurting. And I don't want to stop the blood flow to my arm. Remember, the American College of Surgeons does not recommend using an improvised tourniquet, which would be like a belt. They consider using caution before you decide to use something like that. Direct pressure and packing are what they recommend. Personal safety is something that needs to be considered because bloodborne pathogens are a real thing. The risk of obtaining a bloodborne pathogen is relatively low, but it's not zero. So you always need to use gloves if available. Wash your hands thoroughly after treating an injury. And if blood got on your skin, wash it thoroughly, clean it all, and follow whatever EMS tells you to do. Now, let's wrap up what we've covered today. Being equipped with the knowledge to effectively respond to severe bleeding is critical for everyone, not just healthcare personnel. By understanding and applying the ABCs of bleeding, alerting 911, the bleeding assessment, and compression of the wound, we can take life-saving action in the moment that count. These skills empower us to handle emergencies more confidently and can be the difference between life and death. So let's commit to staying prepared, making our environment safer for everyone. Thank you for your attention and commitment to learning these vital life-saving techniques. If you want to learn more, visit stopthebleed.org for more information. Thank you.